So let me first preface this by saying that beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So the pretty girl versus the plain Jane girl. This young lady became viral about 7, 8 months ago because she was saying, why do men like the plain Jane girls instead of the pretty girls? And that pretty girls are pretty much settled, that men are settling for pretty girls. Many people talked about the fact that she is not even pretty. Now, because beauty is in the eye of the beholder, I will not speak on her level of beauty, but I can say that the first reason that men choose women is because oftentimes the pretty girl or the baddie is superficial. She has no character about her. She has nothing about her that makes a house a home. She has nothing about her that comforts a man or uplifts a man. She brings more problems because of her superficial behavior. Oftentimes, and this is not for every woman, but oftentimes women who wear 10 pounds of makeup, they're not wearing it for the man. They're not wearing it to attract the man. They're not wearing it to please the man so that he looks upon her with eyes of being mesmerized. They do it for other women or they do it for themselves. So the superficial reasons that many women make themselves into a baddie is not appealing to a man because her behavior may be insecurities. Her behavior may be the superficial thing of gaining approval from everyone else in the community instead of just having a man that loves you and looks upon you and thinks that you are wonderful, you are beautiful because of the depths of your character. That is one of the primary reasons why men shy away from the baddie or the pound of makeup woman, because that is all she is empty calories that we walk around with. The other reason, which is an extension of the first, is the fact that the superficial woman lacks the depth and character to be able to make a house a home. She lacks the depth and character to be able to make a man feel safe. She lacks the depth and character to appreciate what the man is bringing into her life. She lacks what is necessary to become a great mate, to become someone that when he's down, she brings him up. When he's up, she shares in his upward mobility. When they're both up, they become powerful because they demonstrate the lack that each one of them may have and they bring completion into the household. She lacks that. The superficial, baddie, pretty girl often lacks those characteristics. Another reason why men shy away from the so-called pretty girl, and some people may not understand this, but it is not for your understanding. But when a man sees a woman who has to have on 2 pounds of makeup, has to have the name brand this and the name brand that, and has to have this car and that car, she puts value into things that don't bring profit into the house. She puts value on the things that are taking away from the building of the protection, a hedge of protection around you. That woman is a liability. She spends $300 a month in makeup and clothes, 500, 2,000, 3,000 in shoes and clothing. She wants to get a car that is a name brand, but may not be the most practical or the best vehicle. She has to have a house that's grander than everybody else in her circle. You will become a liability. And when men who are concerned with building financial security, a financial liability is not something that we're looking to bring into our circle. Now, if you can provide those things for yourself, if you can provide those things consistently for yourself and not look for the man to contribute to that, he may not care, but he will always know that you are probably not there for him. You're there for what it looks like to society. You're there to make yourself look better in the eyes of people who really don't matter. My neighbor's house may be smaller than mine, it may be bigger than mine, but if my neighbor's house is bigger, is smaller than mine, it doesn't make me any better than them. If my neighbor's house is bigger, it doesn't make them bigger and more valuable than me. It just means they're willing to spend more money for a larger house that they're probably not using. But what does it matter if I'm happy and comfortable in my home? That's what matters. If my home feels like a home and not just a domicile, that's what matters. But if you're a liability and every time I turn around, or I make more money, you go out and spend it all, you are a liability. And so we shy away from the liabilities. We shy away from the insecurities. We shy away from having to impress the community at large. And one of the final reasons why men shy away from the baddie pretty girl is that you have gotten away with, however long you've considered yourself a baddie or pretty girl, you've gotten away with attention. You've gotten away with everybody looking at you, everybody wanting you, and you become lazy. And in that laziness, you display an attitude where you're not fighting to maintain the relationship or to improve the relationship. You see it as, he should be honored to have me, and I don't have to do anything but look pretty, stay in shape. That's all I have to do. It was said once, and it was great advice, said that marriage is not the end of the relationship, but is merely the beginning. It is at the point that you decide that you are going to live together or be together as a couple, as a married couple, that is when the relationship begins, because now you have to constantly and consistently work to make sure that that relationship stays protected. You see, the pretty girl or the baddie is the one that creates arguments and disruptions in the house. The pretty girl or the baddie is the one that will embarrass you in the streets, is the one that will constantly be a headache instead of recognizing, what is it that makes him happy? What is it that makes this house happy? What is it that's going to keep us together? What is it that's going to make our life easier? You see, when a person is not thinking that way, and they're constantly thinking, what can I get out of this relationship? How much attention can I get? What type of car? What type of furniture? What type of clothing? What type of all these other things that are outward showings to other people? You're not working for the relationship. And oftentimes the pretty girl baddie, they're lazy when it comes to maintaining and improving the relationship. And no man desires that. Now, a boy will take advantage of it. A boy will be of the same mindset. Hey, fellas, look at what I'm walking around with. Hey, fellas, look how fine my woman is. Hey, fellas, look at the car we drive. Hey, fellas, look at the house we have. Hey, fellas, look at all the trinkets that we have in and around our house. Look at all these things. Look at my watch, and look at my lady's watch, and look at her shoes, and all these sorts of things. There's nothing wrong with being able to purchase certain things if you can afford it. There's nothing wrong with having those things around your house. But if you're not able to use it, what's the purpose of it? If you're constantly grinding to put on this facade, what's the purpose of it? And if you have to continuously do these things to put on a facade in front of other people, what's the purpose of it? Oftentimes, they are lazy when it comes to continuing to build a relationship, and therefore we shy away. We don't want them. That's what a man, and understand there is a difference between a man and a boy. And y'all have a great day. And always remember, you have to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.